I've been alive or live. It's 5:30 and it's Wednesday, which means it's live stream Q&A thing and all this lot. From Arena Studio Land with me, Chris, for those of you that don't know who I am. Don't know who I am myself half the damn time. Anyway, today we're talking about warm-ups, especially to do, well, I suppose the same sort of things can apply, the same sort of fundamental ideas can apply to singers as well. But today we're going to look at guitar players, because one of the questions that get asked is, how much time do I spend warming up? Is it necessary to warm up? And what are the benefits? And all this type of stuff. So if the truth be known, warming up is like anything that you do with any intensity. You don't just go full on for it. It's like an athlete, you know, they don't suddenly just get on the blocks and run 100 meters without stretching and getting things in place. So I would recommend just a minute or two of stretching and a few little warm-ups just to bring everything, get the blood and the juices flowing. So for me, it's one of those things where we would stretch the fingers a little bit. I do each individual finger of the fretting hand. And then I do the same thing with my picking hand, especially if I'm going to be doing any finger picking type things. I also spread the fingers a little bit as well, and same on that. Just gives everything a little bit of a stretch, especially when you're of a certain age and things don't stretch the same. So, and then obviously plenty of rubbing. I'm doing forearms, all my arms, and I'm just probably trying to raise my overall temperature a little touch, just to get the blood flowing a little bit. Keeps you warm. There's nothing worse than trying to play a guitar in a cold room. I've been in some situations in the past where I would warm a bowl of water, warm water, put my hands in that for 5 minutes just to warm things up, and it just helps that free movement, because it's very difficult to play with intensity and accuracy when you're stiff and cold, your fingers and your joints are. So I would look at one or two things like that. Try a few star jumps even if you're cold. I've even done that before now in this place when I've had no heating on, just to get everything warmed up and, like I say, get your heart pumping and the blood flowing, just to get you in the mood to play those instruments. One or two warm-up exercises that I do to this day is the famous caterpillar things that are pretty good for it. On guitar. And I do them like that, and I also descend. Now, the caterpillar exercises are all well and good for warming up, because they're a great exercise for synchronizing left and right hands. But I find the golden moment for me of playing is when I've done about 15 minutes of stretches and warm-ups and jamming along to little tracks. I feel as though I reach this perfect place then of where it suddenly becomes easier for me to absorb it. It feels like I'm ready to learn after about 15 minutes. So I do think that if you are practicing and warming up for less than that, you're probably not going to be on a quick journey with playing anything. You need to extend your practice time possibly a little tiny bit. Okay, but the downside, just going back to the caterpillars, is that if you watch what happens, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, and then you change strings, down, up. You get very good at changing strings and landing on the next string with a downstroke. Down, 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 down. It's just the nature of the beast. It's an even set of numbers, and that's what happens. Whereas if you do triplets or 3 notes, then you actually alternate passing from one string with a downstroke onto another string with an upstroke. Sort of digressing a little bit now, aren't I? But that's a great way to warm the picking hand up. So if you look, it goes down, up, 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 down. So you're actually working on tightening up that little picking motion as well, and developing this skill of being able to change strings, and it doesn't matter whether it's an upstroke or a downstroke. So again, the exercises that I look at to warm up, I also try and utilize them with more than one aim of, rather than just getting a bit of flexibility, I utilize them to sink left and right hands. And I also use them to try and develop like that, you know, attacking a string with a different pick direction, which is win-win all round then, you see, because you're sort of upgrading everything that you're doing as well. It's like learning something as well as warming it up at the same time. So I treat those as part of my practice session a lot of the time. So really, you just got to go very careful, very cautious, I suppose. And dare I say, the older you get, the harder it gets to get things, oh dear me, to get things working how it should do. So I would take plenty of time, make sure you are warm, you're in a warm environment when you're playing, cold rooms, cold atmospheres, winter days, oh, a nightmare. So there's a few little tips there that hopefully should get things warmed up and flowing for you. And then I will see you next week. I'm cutting this short tonight because I'm going to get myself in trouble with some of the things I'm saying here. I can tell already. So I'm going to cut this short, and I'm going to microwave my cheese pasty, make a cup of tea, and see you same time next week with another little quick tip on warming things up, maybe, or maybe just some other little musical tips and tricks for you to enjoy. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you, bye. Here we go. How do we switch it off? Finish. There we go.